Catherine in the room. And so I would love it if you guys would just say, hello, Catherine. And, I'll say something like, where are you guys from? And you guys can shout out what states you're from if you want to, or you could just say, Northeast or Southeast if you want to keep it, on the down low. And so without further ado, here is Catherine from Do It on a Dime. She will be popping in here soon, I hope. Catherine, can you hear me? Catherine, you're still on mute.
Hi, Catherine.
Canada in the house.
How are you?
Ando.
Hi.
Catherine, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to put the spotlight on you. And how are you doing? I'm so freaking excited. I don't even know how to control myself right now.
Oh, it's so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Jamie, for hosting this. I feel like this is such a great forum for all of us to get together, and I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Catherine, I want you to be able to view this in a couple different ways. So if you're on your desktop, you can view this either in gallery view, where you'll see everybody's faces and the tiles, or you could view it in speaker view. Are you on your desktop or your phone?
I'm on my desktop.
Okay, so in the upper right-hand corner where it says view,
got it.
You can toggle either speaker view
I got you guys. I see
gallery.
everybody.
Awesome.
Yay.
Everybody wave now that she can see you.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for being here.
So Catherine, everybody is super, super excited. I think JK Weeks is having a little moment there. She's covering up her smile. Do you see her waving down there? She's sitting in her car.
I love it.
Or in a car. I don't know if it's her car now, but she's sitting.
No, it's not my car.
Okay. you looked a little young, but I didn't want to.
I'm like trying to hold back tears.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So, Catherine, gosh, so many questions. Like and we've even chatted on the phone and stuff. You call yourself an accidental influencer. Mm-hmm. Why do you call yourself an accidental influencer?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I just thank you guys so much for being here. This is so exciting, and happy Mother's Day to everybody. Jamie is just the sweetest, on camera, off camera. He is just the most genuine, lovely person. So I'm just so glad to be here. I am an accidental influencer because I was a teacher for a decade before I did YouTube. So I literally stumbled into this, and it is just such a dream come true. So I don't know. I just feel like it's something that's so cool, and it's been so organic because I've been doing this for 10 years, YouTube for 10 years. So I kind of stumbled into this space, and it's been an awesome journey. So
now, have you always been like a DIYer, organizer? Is that just kind of always in your blood, and then you decided one day I'm going to film this, or how did that process?
I feel like, wait, just out of a show of hands, how many people here are also creators? Are there a lot of creators here?
Yeah, so I think you can see it on your side too. There are people, they have their names, or they have their channel names. So if they've got channel names, you can see them you should be able to anyway on your side. And also, guys, I meant to tell you this too. If you do have a question later on for Catherine, say your name, but say your channel name as well. That way, everybody that's watching knows, and then Catherine knows as well.
Yeah, I feel like so many of us can relate to that. I recognize a little bit of Calm and Crazy and Bargain Bethany, of course, who I love so very much. I just, like everybody else, I was like, hey, I was a middle school teacher, so I'm a little bit, kind of goofy on the side too. Loved what I did, and also started creating organizing videos and DIY videos because I could afford the Dollar Tree because I was teaching. Okay. And we, living in the South and not making a lot of money, that the Dollar Tree was where I was shopping. So I thought, hey, I could share this content, and that's where my channel kind of started. Now,
you mentioned you're from the South. Where in the South are you from?
So I'm originally from Michigan, so the Greater Detroit area. But then after I graduated, there were no jobs available, so I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we've been there ever since. So
very cool, very cool. I'm in Atlanta, so we're 4 hours apart.
That's right.
We have to meet for lunch in the middle when all this stuff is over with. So I'm curious. So when you were shopping at Dollar Tree and stuff, and you started creating or even organizing and doing everything that you're doing, and that Dollar Tree really has to offer, when did you make the shift from crafting, hobby, fun, I need to get organized at home, to doing it on YouTube?
I mean, you have to remember when I started, there was nobody in the space. Like it was me and a couple of other people, and nobody was really doing Dollar Tree stuff. So this was back in 2013, 14.
Okay.
So I made videos for a long time and then taught alongside of that and was raising 2 boys. So it was kind of in the transition year of like 2018, 2019 that I was like, wow, this could be my job. And then I transitioned over into being full-time YouTube.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Do you remember what your very first YouTube video project was?
Yes. And I think no one should watch it.
Oh no. Is it still on your channel?
Oh my goodness. I seriously need to go back and like take away stuff that I don't want anybody
Like
to see.
unlist it now.
Right? Truly though, like I think the beautiful part of it is it's the trajectory of the journey, right? Like I started out with a flip camera and no knowledge of video editing, anything. And then slowly, a little bit at a time, grew to understand how to edit, how to create. So you don't have to start knowing what you're doing. You just I evolved into it and then, got where I am today. So
that's cool. So single, married, kids, I think we all know the answer because you're very transparent on your Instagram and such, but just in case.
My husband and I have been married for over 10 years. We met each other in preschool. So we've known each other for our whole lives. And then I have 2 boys, Carson and Owen, and Carson's going to be 8 and Owen is going to be 5.
Nice. Now what do the boys think of mom and her job?
It's actually so funny. So I signed up Carson this summer to be in a How to Be a YouTuber summer camp.
Oh, cool.
I was like, whoa. So we were laughing about that we were putting him in that camp, but they like it and they enjoy being part of the channel when I have the camera out. I don't think they fully understand what YouTube is all about yet because they're still kind of young. Yeah, we were laughing.
That's cool. Now do with the one that's in YouTube camp, do you see some creative, like, do you think he'll follow in the footsteps of mom?
Maybe. I think he's more behind the scenes. He likes the editing piece of it. Owen, my youngest, he loves to be in front of the camera, but Carson's more like behind the scenes. That's sort of his jam. So
okay, that's cool. That's cool. So you might have a built-in like YouTube family and everybody there.
Maybe.
That could be cool. That could be cool. So I would imagine you are recognized if you're out in public, Dollar Tree or shopping. How many have you been recognized? I'm assuming it's going to be yes, but
yes, I have been many times. The place where I got recognized the most was in Disney World. We were there before
wow.
COVID and all that happened. So I had a couple of people come up to me and say hello. And I love meeting viewers. Like everybody is just so lovely and kind. Like I love when people come up and say hello.
Nice. That's awesome. How many selfies have you taken?
Oh, I mean, most people do ask for one,
yeah.
But this is my thing. And I know people can probably relate to this. Anytime you go anywhere that you're going to be asked to take your picture, you always look the worst ever. You're like, okay, I'm not going to see anybody. I'm going to just go out and like do this really quick thing. And everyone's like, hey, Catherine, can I get your picture? And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. I had a total goofball moment at Dollar Tree not too long ago. And if you guys were on the show last time, you heard this story already, but somebody came up to me and they were like, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And I was like, yes. And I just knew they were going to be like, are you the crafty DIY guy? And the lady's like, do you like skincare? And I was like, yeah. And she recommended this Dollar Tree skincare product to me. And she's like, this is the best stuff. I drive to every Dollar Tree in town and buy out everything they have. And I was like, thanks. Yeah. And then she gave me 2 of them that I could buy myself because she said that they were really, really good. So thought that was funny. I'm waiting for the day, the day when I'm recognized. So what inspires you creativity wise?
Oh my gosh. So many things. I feel like for me personally, like I really get inspired by other people who are killing it in other verticals. Okay. Like I don't actually watch a lot of YouTube videos with Dollar Tree and DIY stuff. I really don't. I watch a lot of people who are just killing it in other spaces because that really inspires me and fuels me. I love podcasts, but I love YouTube in general. So
Sure. Nice. And then like, are you the type that you'll be walking around the Dollar Tree and you'll see a water toy and you're like, oh, I could make sconce with that? Or do you have to kind of marinate it and think about it? Like, what is your Dollar Tree plan when you're?
That's totally you, Jamie. I feel like that is totally your jam. You can
Yeah,
totally
it kind of is.
the water toy.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like I am a very, so when I go into the Dollar Tree, I feel like I'm kind of crazy. I have my earbuds in, I'm listening to music, and I'll pull stuff out. Sometimes I'll put it on the floor and figure out what I want to do, like make arrangements that way. And people are probably like, what is this girl? Or I'll have the camera, and some of the employees are like, oh yeah, we know her. She's always in there talking to the camera. It's fine.
That's funny. That's really funny. So what do you think of the new Dollar Tree Plus? I know that you just did a great shopping haul with one. And we are getting ready to get one at my favorite Dollar Tree, so I'm really excited about it.
I feel like it's a mixed bag, right? So people are like, yes, we're so excited to have these new items come, and other people are like, oh no, we're gonna lose the everything is $1 thing. But I'm excited about it because I don't know, I always kind of embrace change, and I think that that's a cool thing to experience in the dollar store. And I think ultimately what sells is what's gonna stick. So if they have great products and great stuff, I think it's gonna stick and sell. So I loved it.
I'm excited. I don't know if my credit card is excited, but I'm excited. I wanted to also bring this up and let you guys know that Surebonder is actually a sponsor tonight, and they are going to be giving away a mystery prize. So we kind of suggested to them, or me suggested to them that they give away maybe a gun, maybe some glue sticks, maybe one of their great silicone mats. So we will do a drawing before we end that Catherine will actually help with, and one of you will receive a mystery box from Surebonder. So if you're not familiar with Surebonder, check them out, surebonder.com. I love their glue guns. They have glue sticks for every type of job, literally glitter glue sticks, glow in the dark glue sticks, wood glue sticks, everything. So, and Catherine, I think they're going to set you up with something too. So I'll be getting your
He sent me like a whole thing about like, because I've always struggled with glue guns, and he sent me this whole thing about like glue guns. I was like, thank you so much for this.
Yeah,
I feel like if you're a Dollar Tree crafter, like you have to have a great glue gun.
Yeah, and I have a couple that they're all Surebonder, of course. So I want to make sure too that this is super interactive, and I see a lot of smiles and a lot of happy people. So I want to open this up earlier than normal. So by all means, if you guys have questions, wave your hand. That way I can see you, and then I'll call on you and we can unmute you. That way we kind of keep it a little more organized. And Catherine, you probably saw all the hands go up. I saw Crafted by Corey first, and then I think, was it JK Weeks? Was it you up next? So Crafted by Corey, go for it.
So my name's Corey, Crafted by Corey. It's such a pleasure to talk with you. So I'm just curious, over the course of the 10 years, have you found that you've had to do a lot of shifting to remain relevant, or has it really just, because Dollar Tree mostly has it just kind of grown organically without a lot of effort? I shouldn't say effort. Hopefully you understand what I'm asking. Because I know it is a lot of effort. And I'm also wondering, as you've gotten bigger, do you have a staff that supports you, or do you still do everything yourself?
Yeah, those are such great questions. I feel like the relevant question is always a thing, right? And I feel like it's very cyclical, right? What comes like in terms of, if it's crafting or organizing, beginning of the year, people are always looking to get organized, and then crafting supplies, December, November, that kind of stuff. I feel like for me, what's really grounded me as a creator is I want to make what fuels me and fuels my brand. And ultimately, even if that doesn't get a ton of views at the beginning, that's something that generates the audience that I want to keep and sustain. So I'm going to do it anyway. And I know that might not be an answer that every creator gives, but that's just what's worked for me. So it's what I keep doing.
Sure.
And then in terms of staffing, so I do have an assistant. Her name is Kathy. She is incredible. She's a local mom. She was a viewer and then reached out to me, and she's great. And she helps me run my Facebook page and answer comments and do like some TikToks and Instagram reels, just like those edits for me. So I'm so grateful for that. But it's pretty, like, I still edit all of my own videos because I really believe in the power of storytelling. And many of my videos, whether I'm doing a cleaning video or whatever it is, that is a piece of me in my life. And I want to make sure that that is really integral to the brand. So I love editing, and I've just learned it along the way. I use Final Cut Pro, so nothing fancy, but it works for me.
That's
Great.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Corey. I saw JK Weeks.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't even know what to ask. So on what? I watch you all the time, first of all. Like, I've almost seen every single one of your videos, and I try to keep up with you on Instagram and on YouTube, and you're just like my role model, and I'm just so excited. I'm about to turn 13 in about 2 weeks. But my question is, for Dollar Tree Plus, does Dollar Tree, like the website, include Dollar Tree Plus?
That is such a great question. Well, first of all, happy birthday. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is so great. You should be the one talking to them, because it should. I feel like the Dollar Tree website should include what's Dollar Tree Plus and have all of those items available. I think that would be like such a great thing for the brand, but they haven't done that at all. So nothing is on the website yet that I've seen. No products are on the website there. So hopefully they do that soon, because I feel like that would be really useful for everybody.
I'm sure it would.
Love it.
Yes.
Love
Every time that you mention something in a video, I'm like, they don't have it at my Dollar Tree. And then I go look it up and I try to convince my mom to buy it.
And
Good
it's always
plan.
hard to find this. That's so true, right? Like every time you want something from Dollar Tree, you're like, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do this thing. It's never there. The item you need
Yeah.
is never
Yeah.
ever.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you.
question, and happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
So I'm curious, do you shop, Catherine, at multiple Dollar Trees, or are you just kind of a one-time, are you lucky and have just the one good one?
No, not at all. There are some Dollar Trees I go in and I'm like, okay, yep, that had nothing there. And then you go like a couple miles down the road. I probably shop consistently at 4 to 5 stores to make sure I have everything. If you're a creator, you understand that. Like, you can't just go into one store and find what you need. You've got to, branch out and find the things at other places. And I'm not sponsored by Dollar Tree. I don't have a connection to Dollar Tree other than affiliate links through them, in my description. But other than that, like, I'm on my own. I walked into Dollar Tree one day and I saw that they were rolling out Dollar Tree Plus, and I was like, hey, staffers, I'd love to make friends with you.
Yeah, for sure. That's the best tip I can give you guys. Make friends with your Dollar Tree employees. Yep. I literally took them all pizza for lunch one day, and they still can't hold anything, or at least they're not supposed to. Wink, wink. But make friends with your Dollar Tree staff. Trust me on that one. Was it Mickey, I think maybe was next, and then Norma, and then Maryland. So you guys keep me honest.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I watch your videos like every single day. And it's like so nice because I'm like right in your area. So, but I can never find anything good at my Dollar Tree. I go to the one over by like TK and like that area, and there's like nothing there. And then I always see your videos and I'm like, how is her Dollar Tree so big and nice and gorgeous? Like, it's so close to me, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, you got to shop around. You got to visit them all.
It's so funny, the things that you'll sometimes walk into just like a gem mine. I'm sure all of us have experienced that, right? Like all this stuff and you're like, whoa, this is great. And then other ones you walk in, it's a miss. So yeah. I get that.
But yeah, so like yours just looks so big and nice. But you also like inspired me to get that the Bissell steamer, and my baseboard my baseboards have never been cleaner. Like I was gonna repaint them, and I made a review video on it because I'm trying to start my YouTube channel back up. But I was wondering if you had like any tips on like motivation on like getting started back with like your YouTube channel if you like get into like a rut.
Yeah.
last year I ran into a bunch of medical problems, which I just graduated college and then got hit with all of that. So it's been really hard for me to like get motivated to start things back up again.
Yes, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is hard. That is hard. Like when you're in the middle of like, you want to do something creative that you love, and then real life hits, and you're like, how am I supposed to make this happen? But like, I mean, I think for me, because we've also been there too with medical issues and things that are tough, whether it's mental health or my husband has some health conditions. So those things have made it challenging with 2 kids to try to float all of the things. But that's also a part of your story, right? That's a part of your, like what you're dealing with day to day. And I feel like so many people can relate to that. So I think that that's something that took me a while to be able to bring into my channel. But when you can share those personal things and those things that you're, you know, able to share and want to share, that people are like, wow, like yes, I get that too, because there are so many people in that same position. So whether you're doing cleaning motivation videos or, you know, quick DIYs, that's kind of like my brand is anybody can do this right where you are. You are enough as you are, bring it to the table, like, let's go. So just to give what you can. And I don't know if that's a great answer or not, but just, you know, do what you can do and bring that to part of your story.
Thank you. And I love how motivational you are with your like openness on like everything that you go through.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mickey. I think it's important what you said about, you know, you are enough, and just as you are enough. And if you're looking at somebody else's channel or trying to compare it to somebody else's channel, I don't think that is being authentic to who you are, and you just need to be yourself. I'm a big goofball. I've got paint in my fingernails all the time. I don't know why I do it. I do it every single time I use it, but every time I use Old English shoe polish, I did it again. Every time I use Old English furniture polish, I call it shoe polish. And I get thousands of comments saying it's furniture polish. And I'm like, y'all don't know me by now? Like, I'm a big old goofball and it's just gonna happen. All right, who is next? Who was after Norma? Go for it.
Yes. Hi, Catherine. How are you? I'm just a viewer, and you are enough, just like you tell us. My question is, since you go into a lot of different categories, you go into cleaning, you go into organizing, you go into crafting, you go into, do you make a schedule? Like you say, this week I'm going to do videos on this, or the next week, or so on and so forth, or you just wing it?
I feel like I should have a better answer for this, Norma, than I do. I go by feel. So for me on my channel, I'll take like a couple of videos and I'll say, okay, it's been a minute since I've done a cleaning video. That's what I want to do. And I typically plan like 3 to 4 weeks out, like the next 3 videos I'll plan. So I'll say, okay, I feel like this is what the community needs, because I feel like especially with COVID and all of us being shut down, I did a lot more cleaning videos than I ordinarily would have done, because I felt like that was what the community was looking for. So I really do try to listen to my audience and what they're saying and comments and responses, and to have a true community vibe. And then I just kind of generate my content around that. Even when I'm working with brands, they'll approach me and say, hey, we're looking to, you know, incorporate this. And I'm like, hey, this is the content that I'm already talking about on my channel. Do you fit into this? And they're like, yeah, we do. That's great. So I feel like you kind of have to go with the flow with what's happening in life.
Gotcha. I just was a viewer since November. Like, I just joined YouTube for the first time.
Nice.
I will tell you that I enjoy when you show a product and then you show what you're going to do with it, or what you've done with it. That's great, because a lot of times you get a lot of haulers and they haul a lot of stuff, but you never see what they did with it. And you've been doing that lately, and I really enjoy that a lot. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're not talking about me, Norma.
Not at all, Jamie, not at all.
Awesome. Marilyn, you have the virtual hand up, so go for it. Oh, you're still on mute.
Yes.
Though. There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, I have been watching your videos and everything, and I have no idea how you manage to do all the organizational things and stuff. I watched the one about the decluttering thing, and I just can't. Maybe it has something to do with the fact I have too many crafts and not a big enough house anymore. I went from 2,000 square foot house to 1,000. So, 4 bedrooms down to 2, and I've got dogs and cats and teenagers, and but I'm not quite sure how you manage to do it.
What is your best advice, Catherine, for purging and organization?
I feel in some ways, I feel like I'm torn between two worlds because I love crafting, right? Creating things and doing things simply. And I also love organization. I think for me, it's been really important to simplify to what fits the space. I'm going to show you guys this because it doesn't matter. I'm in my craft room right now. So I have these, and this works out kind of perfectly. So I have my built-ins there where I keep all my craft supplies, and then
Okay. Look, guys, she's real. She has stuff on her tables too.
What is going on? So I have to have, for me, I know I need my table, my spot to work where I can kind of lay everything out. And then I just limit my space of where I can keep craft projects. And if it doesn't fit in it, I don't get anything else. And it's hard because sometimes I have the scarcity mindset where like, oh man, this is a super cool thing, or I really want to, pick this up or do this. But at the same time, like it just doesn't fit into this space. So I feel like having a designated spot for me has been really good. And if you've watched my channel, it took me a while to get here. This was our guest room for a long time. So after my husband had surgery, when he wasn't doing well, he would come in here and sleep. So we kind of needed to have this guest bedroom. And I was like, there's no way I can have a craft room. I can't fit it into our house. And finally I said, you know what, we have to find a way to make it happen, because everything became a mess because I would get this, great stuff from Dollar Tree and I couldn't find what I had. So I feel like it's been, for me, a process of refining down my space and what works for me so I can, do the things that I love. But I fully get that. As a creative type, I feel like we like to have different options open, and it can be hard for sure.
Yeah, it is very hard. Yeah. I'm still working on it. So thank you.
Like all of us, I feel like we're all in that boat.
Sure. Courtney, I think I saw your hand up, and then Sandy.
Hi, Catherine. I'm Courtney, Creative on the Cheap. Okay, this is my question. What, if you were able to do anything, expand on it, have a clothing line, maybe not even DIY organization, what would it be? Just, something that you would love to just like try.
Oh man, that's a great question. So I recently signed on with a licensing group to maybe hopefully be able to do something like that down the road. I would love to have a line of products in a dollar store. That would be my ultimate goal. I'd also love to write a book. Those are two things that I'm currently, working on. But it's not quite there yet, but something I'm interested in. So
great. Awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you, Courtney. You touched on Catherine earlier about when you have your sponsors and such. Tell us, because I'm sure, especially at your level now, you're probably getting tons of collaboration requests from products and people and everything. And I feel like there's almost there's a flood of it. I know for myself, you would get a lot of here's I don't know why I have this next to my desk, but I do. Here's a bottle of Fireball. We're going to give you this if you do a DIY project with it. And it's like, you think, oh my God, it's free. Yes, I want it. But then it doesn't necessarily fit into your channel. Mm-hmm. How do you manage collaborations just in general, whether they're from product or from people?
Yeah, I feel like that's such a great question, Jamie. I feel like it's taken me a while to get here, but I feel like for me to be a part of the brand, you need to enter into a story that is already happening. So this is what my brand is about. Here's where we are. And if you fit into that story, please welcome. Like I would love to have that be a part of this. But if I have to mold myself around a brand or around a product or a collaboration, for me right now, I'm just not interested in that because I really want to speak to my audience and the mission of my brand. What is my why? So that's my main focus. And that can be challenging for sure. Especially trying to run a business, right? And, you know, support them. But that's
YouTube is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I mean, this is a business, and I know, like for myself, I have a kind of a calendar of content and what I need to do for my paid content, Cricut, people like that. But then I also have room and friends and things for collaborations, and you have to plan it literally months and months and months in advance.
Sure.
And you know, I think sometimes there's you get requests all the time from people, I'm sure, also, right?
Yes.
So how do you manage that process of it?
So initially when I started, like if you're kind of starting your channel, I really do recommend collaborations. I think it's a great way to grow your brand, especially because you can really leverage both of your communities and just trust your gut. If this is somebody that you're like, I really like this person, like trust that, go with that and do something with that person. That's an amazing thing. You should definitely do it.
Sure. Because they fit within your brand, right? Kind of like what you were saying.
Yes. If they're a part of your story and you feel like you align in that way, trust that experience and just go with it. It's a great way to grow your brand. And whatever you do when you're collabing, at least I found this, that the more that you can integrate your channels together, the more that you can become a union, whether that's like showing footage of the other person's, you know, video on your video, or kind of creating that atmosphere of collaboration, even if you're doing a distanced thing, that's really powerful. And I've seen, you know, big group collaborations. I don't watch tons of Dollar Tree content, but I know that there's lots of Dollar Tree DIYers who do big, you know, giant collaborations. And that's great because you have that, you know, if you're in a playlist that rolls from one video to the next, and you really can gain traction that way. It's awesome. And build friendship, because this can be very lonely. I'm sure like you said to people in your life, oh, I make YouTube videos. And they're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
wait, what?
for sure.
So it's cool.
Nice. I love that. And then any collaboration 101 advice that you'd give anybody out there?
Oh man. I would say if you're interested in working with somebody and you have a gut feeling that you align, reach out just to see. The worst that can happen is they don't get back because they aren't able to. But just see if it's possible. I feel like the least time that you can spend worrying about the what ifs and just try it, the better off you are.
Nice.
So.
Nice. I love that approach, because that's what I did with you when I reached out to you about this show. And you know, didn't know, and it happened. And I think you responded back to me like very quickly, you know, compared to some people out there. So you know, it was a good thing. So I'm not calling any names out by any means. Who else had a question? Sandy, go for it. And then Indiana, you'll be next. And then Gina.
Hey, I'm Sandy, Lumbermill DIY. And I really appreciate your transparency and your storytelling, and you're just amazing, like just great. You were talking about doing different things that are in line with your story. When you're a new channel first starting out, like, should I be like niching down, like staying the course with woodworking? I tend to go in all different directions. I love art, I love drawing, I love painting, I love wood burning, but just niche down for a while, or what do you suggest?
Oh, that's a great question, Sandy. Thank you for that. First of all, I mean, I feel like I was actually talking about this with my husband the other day, because I was like, I'm going to be doing this segment with Jamie, and people are going to be asking questions. And he's like, what advice would you really give? And I said, well, because my first initial reaction was find your why. What is your why? Why are you doing this? And focus on that. And my husband said, but that's not what you did, Catherine. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? That's not what I did. He's like, you stumbled into this and that changed and evolved over time. And I was like, you're totally right. So I feel like it's kind of a combination of both. What is your why? Why are you showing up? What ignites your fire? And not only that, but what is your audience responding to? Because that is a big piece of it. When you put something out, does your audience say, that's the thing? That's the interesting thing. Because I was talking about earlier how I love watching people succeed in other verticals. And this is totally random, so I hope you guys will bear with me. But I was watching a video of a woman who lives in Japan, but speaks Chinese. And she would go to different places in places of Japan where people primarily speak Chinese and just randomly start speaking Chinese and film it. And she grew a massive following doing this because it is so niche, it is so interesting, and it's fun to watch, and she's really engaging. So she took this one thing that seemed so random, niched it down, and then built an entire audience out of this. And I was like, that is so freaking cool. And I love seeing people who are super talented do that same thing. So whatever you do that you love, that your audience responds to, feeding more into that, if it feeds your why, like I think you can grow. I truly believe that even now with a super saturated market, you can grow a really strong brand and channel.
I appreciate that. The why, that's where I started. I started with my why. So I really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
That's awesome. Sandy has a lumber mill in Canada.
Oh, that's super cool.
And I'm trying to get her to send me a bunch of wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to build a deck on the back of the house. I don't remember who else. I'm sorry. Annie. That's my friend's dog. Annie, how about you?
Hi, Catherine. I'm Indie Annie Jones. That's my channel name, but my real name is Annie Jones. I have loved watching your channel, and it's grown. And I think after so many years, one of the things that I kind of like, and I'm sorry if I looked different from when I first started, I'm actually getting ready for a live that I'm going on with a Disney Channel. I dress up sometimes on my channel. I dress up and do crafts. That's my niche. It's very different. But one of the things that gets kind of hard, you say it's seasonal. It's like, you know, you get tired of doing bees every summer and lemons every summer and burlap. And, you know, where do you find the initiative of creating something like brand new that you haven't seen and nobody else has seen, and still, you know, being afraid of doing that because you're like, what if nobody looks this up and watches, you know?
No, for sure. And I my friend, I have been through that cycle for sure. I can't remember, it wasn't, not this Christmas, but the last one. I remember having anxiety going into Christmas, going, oh my goodness, I have to make all these DIYs and I don't want to do anything. Like I don't feel creative. I'm not in this. I don't want to do it. And I feel like what's really, at least this past year, really inspired me is sometimes those things that you think aren't that great, and all of us who are creators can attest to this. You're like, this is really dumb. Why am I even sharing this? And you share it, people are like, yes, we love this.
And they love it. Oh my God. The projects I have wanted to like omit so many times, I get the most comments on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so basically to have 80% of your content be that hero content that you know your audience is going to be there for, even if you don't love it the same, sometimes people respond to it in a new way that you did not expect. But for me, I have to have that 20% of my push content, like that stuff that is stretching me as a creator. And if you followed my channel, for me, those are the videos that are pretty personal. I'm doing a clean with me video. Sometimes I incorporate podcasts. I'm sharing a pretty vulnerable part of my life, but that's what inspires me to keep creating because it pushes my envelope in that creative way. And sometimes stuff catches, sometimes it doesn't, but that's kind of like, that's the beauty of like what we're doing, right? Like sometimes it, you know, it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it usually is the stuff you don't expect that people are like, that's the cool thing. We want more of that. And you can listen to what your audience says. But I fully feel that it can be hard and when you get stuck in that rut, if you've been doing it the same thing over and over. You know, my favorite band is Green Day. I love Green Day, my favorite band. But I always think to myself, like, how many times does Billy Joe Armstrong want to sing Basket Case? Every time he gets up on the stage, he's probably like, okay, here we go again. Like, I got to sing this. But for the person who's experiencing it, it's a new thing. Yeah. So I try to keep that in mind too.
That's cool.
Great. Thank you so much. Great answer. Thanks.
Celine Dion said in an interview that she does never want to sing the Titanic theme song ever, ever, ever again because of the same type of reason, because she sang it so many times. And I couldn't imagine going to a Celine Dion concert and her not singing.
Hearing that. Your heart will go on.
Right, exactly. Gina, go for it. Oops.
Thank you. Well, Catherine, I can't believe I'm speaking to you. I'm so excited. I'm such a huge fan. I started out just deciding, okay, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. So I named it Shopping and Crafting on a Dime. Then I found you trying to look up my name, and I was totally inspired by you. And so I only have 115 viewers now. And so I'm just, I guess, wondering what your advice is for me starting out new to this.
Growing.
What is your, Gina, what is your, the concept of your channel? What are you mainly sharing? Is it shopping hauls? Is it just
Dollar Tree hauls and Dollar Tree craft projects like farmhouse DIYs and stuff like that?
Yes, that's awesome. Welcome to the community. That's so great. I mean, I feel like it's find your voice. Like what makes you feel the most you, and sparkle and shine, and keep speaking to that. Because ultimately, I mean, there's only so many things you can do with Dollar Tree products.
Right.
There's only so many ideas under the sun, but you bring a unique and creative voice to that. So speak to that and do what makes you happy, because ultimately I feel like that's what shines in front of the camera. Be your goofball self, you know, let that out and just enjoy it.
Okay, great. And one more question. How do you balance, because I have an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old, and how do you balance the whole mom, YouTube, working aspect of it? You know, like when you started and you were teaching and stuff, which I was a teacher for a long time, so I can sympathize with you for that. It's a rough job, but it's fun, you know? So how do you balance all of it?
I don't. And that's just the honest truth. I feel like, and this is so true for creators that I watch, who I love, I'm like, I'll think in my head, how are you doing all of this? Like, there's no way you are doing you can't be doing all this. And you aren't, nobody is. I feel like everything is a give and take. For me, I have to have a schedule and childcare. I have to have childcare if I'm going to have, 2 videos a week. Like this week, I posted 2 videos. I needed to have full-time childcare in order to do that, which sounds crazy. But like, I feel like as women and as moms, it's important to speak that over each other. Like, you need help and need support to be able to do these things for sure. And I think for me, having a plan going into like, this is my expectation and this is what I want to do, and also understanding that I might not be able to get to all of those things and it's okay, has been really freeing for me. Because there is a scramble behind the scenes for every creator that nobody sees. And might not be willing to talk about, but it's hard. It is hard. And if it feels hard, it means you're probably doing it right. You're putting a lot of yourself into it, right?
Okay, thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I don't remember who was next, but I remember I saw hands. Jane, go for it.
Hi, Catherine. You were one of my first YouTube people that I started watching and hooked from the first video.
Yay.
One, I want to say thank you for using your platform to bring awareness to mental health. That's a big thing for me. Whereas you're on the family side, I was on the other side, where I've attempted a couple of times. So to have a different perspective is nice. I also like that you show your real family and you incorporate them, but that you also show that you're real and that your house gets messy and that your, stuff doesn't get done. So I appreciate that. My question is, forgive me. My question is, was organizing always something that came natural to you, or is that just something you had an interest in? And do you do virtual organizing?
First of all, thank you so much for vulnerably sharing that, Jean. I really appreciate that. And those words mean a lot to me. Organizing has always been something that I've been interested in. because I was a teacher for so long, I kind of had to be organized by nature. But it's also something that I've had to work on myself and learn over the years, because while I am an organized person, I'm kind of scattered. I'm a creative type. So I'll like, I don't know how you guys are, but I'll like start something over here and like, okay, no, I need to go over here and then I need to do this. And like, I'm all over the place. So I kind of have to have a good system in place. Otherwise everything goes haywire. But was there another part of the question? Am I missing something?
Do you do virtual?
Oh, virtual
organizing.
So I don't have the bandwidth right now. And that's something that as a creator, I've had to really sit down and say, what do I have the bandwidth for and what do I not? Right now, I don't have the bandwidth for virtual organizing, but I am trying to do more in-person things now that COVID has kind of, more lifted. My husband and I are both vaccinated. So trying to go and help more people get organized in different types of spaces so I can help teach other people how to get organized is my ultimate goal.
Please come to Atlanta.
I'm in Illinois.
I need people who live in Hawaii, like beautiful, beautiful destination.
I will roast a pig in the backyard and like serve Mai Tais and do everything possible to give you that Hawaiian experience if I can.
I love it.
Amber, I think you had your virtual hand up, didn't you? Go for it.
Oh, I'm so nervous. I forgot where the unmute button was. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So my name is Amber. My channel name is DIY with Amber. And I'm not that new, but I'm almost at 15K. So it's super exciting. But that is leading to a lot of negativity. I feel like I ask this question every time I'm on these chats, but I love to pick everybody's brain because everybody has a different answer about it. Like, how do you, I know you said you have your friend help you like with the comments and stuff, but do you just like ignore? How is it like, does it get in your head? Like, okay, well, maybe that wasn't what I should do, even though it was only one comment. So like, what's your
Who'd you tell off? Who'd you tell off, Amber?
Amber.
I tried Bethany's thing and just do my Twitter fingers and erase it, but it didn't work.
My friend, I have said this, maybe this is because I taught middle school for so long, which is kind of like a tricky age in general. I don't know. I feel like I could like teach a class on this. Like having been on the platform for so long, I was telling Jamie this earlier. So, and this is such a funny story. So I've experienced over the years, of course, like this, the onslaught of whatever people are going to say. But I think the hardest one for me was right after COVID hit. I don't know what the CDC came out and was like, people should wear face coverings when they go into stores. And I was like, nobody has that. What if they can't sew? Like, I mean, I could make a DIY video. Let me just like throw this up quick. Probably won't get that many views. Like, I'll just make it a thing. So I make this video, posted at a super weird time. It had like 3,000 views in 30 seconds and went to the trending page on a super intense topic. So the onslaught of messages was insane. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. I mean, I got death threats. It was like, it went crazy. So after I posted this video, I was like outside on my trampoline, like laying down going, oh my gosh, Charlie, what have I done? This is horrible. And
everybody started doing it.
I was like, oh my goodness. But at the same time, like that video was kind of a learning experience for me. That is the internet, that people are going to have an opinion on what you do, no matter what you share. It could be something small. It could be something that blows up. But ultimately, for me, and this is just a personal thing that I landed on, are the 3 L's. You can laugh about it because some of the stuff is kind of funny. You can't, I mean, honestly, like I look at it and I'm like, I can't laugh at that.
That's true.
You can learn from it. Just like any great recipe requires a little bit of salt, right? To make it great, you can learn from it and say, hey, how is this going to fuel my brand? Is this beneficial for me? Can this help grow my brand? Or is this something that I can just ignore? How am I going to look at that? How am I going to learn from it? Or you can love the person, because ultimately their personal experience is what is impacting that comment, not you at all. that their own brokenness, their own hurt, their own suffering impacts how they're responding to you. And I feel like for me, those things have been really powerful because I can see, do I need to laugh at this? Do I need to learn from this? Or do I need to love here?
Yeah.
And how can I, how am I
That
gonna
makes me feel better. I'm on option one still because most of the time it's because my kids are in my intro, but I'm like, people love my kids, so I can't not have them in my intro. So
yeah.
That would be like me and not having Otis pop in,
right,
you know, during filming my cat. Like,
right. People are like, your DIYs are good, but where the kids at? Where the boys?
Yeah. Aw.
Thank you. I appreciate that advice. That was good. Thank you.
I like that too, actually. That means I'm gonna go through and delete some comments, I think.
We're gonna try that.
We've got about 5 or 6 more minutes. Jennifer from Little Bit of Common Crazy. You're still on mute, Jen.
You can hold on your space bar.
Try it now. I can't hear you at all.
Her face.
Oh, no.
Doesn't work.
Do you want to write it on a piece of paper and hold it up, or send it to me in the chat, Jen? I'm asking to unmute you, but it's not. No, it's really not working. I promise you, it's not. Not me. We'll give Jen, I'm going to remove your spotlight. I'm going to let you figure out your mic. You can send me a question in the chat and I'll try and act it out like it was you that was asking the question.
Oh,
there you are.
Hey,
This thing.
Okay, see, and you
Shame on it.
You were going to punch me for nothing.
No, I was going to punch the computer. It's technology I have an issue with. What are you talking about? And that people think I should know what I'm doing.
3 L's, remember, 3 L's. One of them is not punch.
Oh, I love my computer. I love it. I do, I promise.
Question for Catherine.
Anyway, it's not. I really just want to just say thank you. I really appreciate how you have answered the questions and explain things in a way that when I get asked questions, I never quite have a way to explain it to people. And you have really given me a lot of things to think about and a lot of ways of explaining things. You've given me a lot of things to personally think about in regards to like how I'm going about things, my own channel, a lot of food for thought. And I just really appreciate it. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Thank you.
So thank you very much. That's all.
Jen, you were a past guest, and I can say that you know how to answer questions, and you're very, very good. So,
well, thank you. I just really appreciate it, and you can tell that you have been interviewed quite often, and you have a great presence. So thank you.
Aw, well, you have such a great channel. Thank you so much for saying.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. There's been a couple people that have been kind of quiet, so I'm going to maybe call on you and just see if you want to ask a question. Artsy Maddie. She's like, no, I knew he was going to call on me. Artsy Maddie, do you have a question? You can just shake your head no if you don't. It's okay. I don't want to put you on the spot. Oh, no, you're still muted.
She's muted.
I'm going to ask to unmute you, and if you don't want to do it, it's fine.
She said she doesn't have a microphone. Sorry,
oh, okay, okay.
Tell in the chat.
She's happy to send a question through the chat if she wants to. Sarah, you're next. Sarah's got like her DJ headset on.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you, and I just think you and are so inspirational, and I just keep it up. It's such a pleasure to chat with you tonight and just to watch all of your videos. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's so sweet.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for being a good sport, Sarah. All right, guys.
Jamie, it's Norma. Can I ask something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as a viewer, okay, because I always ask as a viewer, what helps your channel? Is it just subscribing, thumbs up, commenting? What helps you guys? Because I'm always looking to help everybody out there. So what helps your channel?
Buy a newspaper ad for us and put it in your local paper with our YouTube links.
Or a big bulletin board on the street.
That would
I
work.
think right now the algorithm really favors commenting. Like if you like liking and commenting, like any type of engagement that you have in the content, and watch time. Watch time is also huge. If you're a creator, the longer you can get people on your video, the better. So this is where I feel like I kind of fall short, because some creators have super long videos. They'll be like 25 minutes and my videos are like 5. But the longer you have somebody on your video, the more it gets suggested to other people, the more you engage with it, comment, like, you know, all those things. Anything you can do to be a part of the community helps.
And that includes the good and the bad comments, right? Because if somebody is taking time to say something hateful to you, that's still an engagement.
That is an engagement. My friends, a thumbs down and a mean comment is still like a boost in the algorithm. So
Gotta love that.
yeah, right?
Love that. All right, last chance. Anybody else? Christy, go for it.
Am I unmuted?
You are.
Hi, I'm Christy from Christy Creates, and my channel, it's just a little shy of 20,000 now, and I'm getting to the point where I need to like set a schedule. Like right now, I just kind of post when I have time. Busy mom, you know how that life is. But I want to I've got a brand new craft room, which I'm fixing to do a video for, and I want to get on a schedule. So what would be your advice on like choosing the best day to post? And if there's like a certain amount of days that works, like is 1 week or 1 day a week enough? Or do you need to post more than that? Just kind of wanted your input.
That's a great question. So the great thing right now about YouTube is you can actually go on to the analytics section and see when the majority of your audience is online. It will actually show you a graph of when they're most online. And that I have found personally is the best time to post. Because I was historically posting at 9 to 10 a.m., which is so bad for me because I am actually not a morning person. And it made me very stressed because I was like, oh man, the video has to go live at 9. And I actually found my audience is most on between 11 and 1. And you can see the days that they're on, and to follow that, I have found is really, really helpful.
Now, is it best? Because I know, like, I've had someone tell me in the past that to post a little bit before when your audience is like, is that better? Or is it better to post like right smack dab in the middle of when they're on?
I think that's a great question too. For me, I try to post a little bit ahead of that curve because I think it helps boost the video this is just my speculation. It helps boost the video in the algorithm because as you get more views, that first hour is really important. Are people engaging with that content or are they not? I also believe though that if you have a really quality piece of content, no matter when you post it, people are going to watch it. If you're hitting that niche, like that market niche of people want this content and they're interested in it, you will gain views. Like there's certain videos that I'll post initially that have low, it'll be like number 8 of 10 or something, which I hate how YouTube does that. They'll like take all your videos and rank them 1 to 10 and you're like, wow, I was awful this week. I'm like, this is not good for mental health. But some of those videos that perform really low for me later on get a lot of traction and they'll get views later. People are searching for that content. So I don't think it's everything, but if I had to say, I would say a little bit ahead of that curve, you're spot on, and a great piece of content will still perform.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. All right.
I have
guys.
one more question.
All right, you're the last one, and it's only because it's your birthday.
Thank you. Miss Catherine, how do you have the motivation to keep on doing what you do?
Oh, I love that question. That's a nice question to end on. I feel like for me, people and the community inspire me to continue to have the motivation. Like all of y'all showing up today and just seeing your faces, it truly is so nice because I never get to do this. It's usually a one-off where you get to say hi to somebody, but hearing from the community, people's letters, their comments, those things really mean a lot and keep me going for sure.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
This is so
Thank
awesome.
you guys. So we are at our final point, and we are going to do now. If we saw Catherine out at Dollar Tree or somewhere, we would do, or I would anyway, I would ask for a selfie with Catherine. So what we are going to do is I'm going to put Catherine on the screen, main and center. And Catherine, I would love it if at the count of 3, you just say hello, and then everybody get out your smartphone, turn your back to the camera, and we're going to take a picture with Catherine.
I love that.
All right, so at the count of 3, let me make my screen nice and big. All right, at the count of 3, Catherine, 1, 2, 3. Say hi.
Hello. Did y'all get one?
Catherine, keep talking. That way the Zoom thing will go back to you.
Oh, yes. Did you guys all get a picture? Yay.
All right, looks like everybody got it. Everybody got it. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. Amazing. Definitely a highlight for sure. I'm so appreciative of you and just being open and yourself and sharing amazing advice and just being cool. You know, when I told everybody before you joined, when we ended up talking on the phone, we joked because I was like in the middle of spray painting at like 9:30 at night with the flashlight outside. And, you know, I think the crafting community are the only folks that would really truly understand that, you know. And it's really been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for hosting this, Jamie. This is awesome. I love that you do this. This is great. And I feel like the community needs more of this. So
everybody unmute yourselves and say goodbye to Catherine.
Oh, it's so nice meeting
Bye,
you.
Catherine. Thank you.
Catherine, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Bye, Catherine. Thank you again.
Jamie, the
Thank you so
giveaway.
much. Wow.
Jamie, the giveaway.
Oh, the giveaway. Catherine left, so that's up to me, but that's okay. The giveaway. Thank you for saying that. Oh, people are leaving. That means they're not going to be in the giveaway. Okay. So what I would have asked Catherine to do, thank you. And I'm glad I didn't stop recording because then Surebonder would have been like, what the heck? Okay, so what I will do is Amber, and I hope it doesn't land on you because it'll look like it's fixed, but I'm going to close my eyes. I'm in gallery view now, and I'm just going to trace the screen and the squares. And when you say stop, Amber, whoever I'm pointing at, we'll get the mystery box from Surebonder.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, you
Stop.
Oh, me.
Go in.
It is Mickey K. All right, Mickey K. So Mickey, just respond back to my email where you got your RSVP. Send me your mailing address, and Surebonder will send you the mystery box of whatever the goodies are.
Okay, thank you so
Cool.
much.
All right, awesome.
Glad I joined.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you,
much.
Jamie.
Of
Thank you,
course.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care.